Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Design with Roosevelt. Continuing with CSWA Practice Problems, today we'll work on question 6.4. Let's take a look at this question. So in this question, unit of measurement is millimeter gram second. Like always, we need to ensure we are using the same unit of measurement in SolidWorks setting. Now, looking at this geometry, I'm going to focus on the base of the geometry first. You can see this pipe shape geometry, and this bottom flange, I'm going to focus on that part first. Then after that, I will focus on the center part of the geometry. And then after that, I will focus on the top flange. And finally, I will focus on some small details like making fillet in the corners. So with this introduction, let's jump into SolidWorks and start modeling this part. In SolidWorks, first we need to check unit of measurement. And you can see that we have millimeter gram second, which is a correct unit of measurement. Now I click on a sketch, and I choose top plane. Here we need two circles. Click on circle command and then make two circles. The diameter of the inner circle is 56 millimeter. And the thickness or the distance between these two circles is 33 millimeter. Okay, so now we have two fully defined circles. Next, I'm going to focus on making 12 holes on this surface. So first, let's click on this drop-down menu and choose center line, and I'm going to make a center line here. I click on circle command, and then I make a circle right on this center line. Looking at the top view, you can see that the diameter of this circle should be 7.33. Also, looking at the section AA, you can see that the distance between the edge of the circle, outer circle, and center point of this circle should be 11 millimeter. If you remember, I mentioned this in a previous video. Whenever you want to choose the distance between the highest point of the arc and the center point, you can hold shift. You can select the smart dimension, and then you select this arc. You select the center point, and SolidWorks gives you the dimension from center point to the furthest point. So click here and choose 11. Okay, so now this circle is fully defined. Next, I want to make more copy of these circles, and the command to use here is circular pattern. In order to use circular pattern, you can click on sketch, you can click on the drop down menu here and choose circular sketch pattern. Here we need to select the entity that we want to make copy from. So entity to pattern, click here and simply select this circle. SolidWorks shows you the preview and everything. You can see that we have 4 circles and everything is with respect to this center of rotation. Of course, we don't need 4, we need 12 circles. So what I can do, I can change the quantity here. Change the quantity to 12. You can see the preview, click on OK, and that's it. Awesome. So now we have 12 circles, but as you can see, they are not fully defined. I explained this in previous videos. Most of the time, when you use linear pattern or circular pattern or mirror, the resulted geometry is not fully defined. So for example, here you can see these circles are shown with blue, and if I grab the center point of one circle, I can simply move them. And you can see that as I move them, the center of rotation is moving. So in order to fix this, I can simply click on center of rotation, I hold control, I click on center of geometry, and then I choose coincident. And now all these circles are fully defined. Awesome, so now we have this fully defined sketch. We click on feature, we click on extrude bus, and then here for the thickness, I'm gonna choose 11 millimeter. And that's it. That's the first part of the geometry, the first flange, bottom flange. Next, we need to focus on the pipe section or curve section of the geometry. So in order to make that part of the geometry, you have two options. The first option is to use revolve bus command, and the second one is to use sweep bus command. I'm not going to show you two different methods here, but I just wanted to highlight that you can use two different tools in SolidWorks to make the second part of the geometry. I'm going to use revolve bus command here because the focus in this chapter is to help you understand how to use revolve bus command. So let's use that command. In order to use revolve bus command, all you need is to have a contour and axis of rotation. So first, let's make a contour. Click on the sketch, and choose this top surface. Click on circle command, and I make one circle and a second one. Of course, the inner diameter should be 56 and the wall thickness should be 11. Awesome. So now exit this sketch. Now this is the contour I want to use for revolve bus command. Next, I need axis of rotation. Now the question is how to make axis of rotation. We can make a sketch on a plane. So let's make a plane. Feature, reference geometry, choose plane. For the plane, let's click on the drop down menu and I'm going to choose the right plane as a reference. Okay. So that's the plane that I'm going to make. However, now the question is, what's the distance between axis of rotation and center point of the geometry? You can see that this right plane is right at the center of the geometry. We need to define the distance between axis of rotation and the center point of the geometry. If you look at section AA, you can see that the distance between the axis of rotation and edge of the pipe or curve shape is 78 millimeter. Then we have 11 millimeter wall thickness, and in addition to that we have 56 millimeter divided by 2, which is the radius of the inner circle. So these are three distances that we need to add to find the total distance. So here for the distance, I'm going to have 78 millimeter. That's a distance that we have from the axis of rotation to the edge of the pipe. Then we have 11 millimeter, which is the thickness of the pipe. And finally, I have 56 divided by 2, which is the radius of the intersection of the pipe, which is 117 millimeters. So that's the location I want to have for this plane. Click on OK. Awesome. So now I have this plane. It's time to make a sketch on it. Click on sketch, and choose this plane. Click on the drop down menu and choose center line. And here I make a center line. This is basically axis of rotation. Exit this sketch. And now you can see, let me make this slightly bigger. Okay. Now you can see I have this line, the distance from this line, which is axis of rotation, to the center point of the geometry is 117 millimeter. And I'm ready to use this contour, this axis of rotation for revolve bus command. So let's click on feature, click on revolve bus command, and then here click on the drop down menu and select the sketch 2, which is the contour. So the contour is selected. All I need to do is to choose axis of rotation, and the axis of rotation is this line. Click on it and that's it. That's a preview. Of course, we don't need a full round 360 degree. What we need according to section AA is just 38 degrees. So change the angle to 38. And now you can see the preview. Click on OK and that's it. Awesome. So now we have the second part of the geometry made. Next, let's focus on top flange. In order to make the top flange, you have two options. The first one is to make one flange exactly like the bottom one on this surface. This is of course the easiest solution, but it's quite time consuming. We don't want to do that. The second approach is to use mirror command. If you look at this geometry, you can see that this geometry could be a symmetric geometry. If I have the plane passing through the center point of this curve, then we can use that plane as a mirror plane. We can use this feature and we can make mirrored feature on the other side. So now the question is, how can we make that plane? Of course, we know the angle of that plane. We know that this angle is 38 degrees. So if I want to have a plane that is acting as a mirrored plane, I need 38 divided by 2 degree, which is 19 degree. So all I need to do here is basically making an angled plane. And I've shown you in previous videos how to make an angled plane. All you need to do is to have a reference surface and axis of rotation. Let's make that. Click on feature, click on reference geometry and choose plane. For the reference surface, I choose this top surface. For the second reference, I choose this axis of rotation. And by default, SolidWorks makes the plane perpendicular to this blue surface. Makes sense, it's 90 degree. You can see here it's 90 degree, but I don't want it to be 90 degree. I can adjust this. Click on it and change the angle to 19. And that's exactly a plane that we want. If you look at this view, this plane is at 19 degree and is passing through the center point of this arc and this arc. Click on OK, and that's it. So that's the mirrored plane. This was the toughest part of this step. Now everything is easy. You have a mirror plane, you have a feature. Click on feature, click on mirror command, and then here for the mirror face, I'm going to choose this plane. And for feature to mirror, click on the drop down menu and choose the first feature, the bus extrude feature that we made. And now you can see the preview. Click on OK, and that's it. Awesome. So now we made the third part of the geometry, which is a top flange. Last step is really easy. If you look at section AA, you can see that we need to add fillet to the corners. We need 2 mm fillet in 8 locations. So click on feature, click on fillet command, and change the radius to 2 mm. And here, simply select these edges. This one, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, 6, 7, and 8. So now we have the edges for the fillet. Click on OK, and that's it. Awesome. That's the final step. Now it's time to check the total volume in the question and make sure that this model is correct. Let's go back to the question and check the volume. In the question, you can find a volume here. The total volume is 370,322 cubic millimeters. Let's go back to our model and check the volume for our model. In SolidWorks, in order to check the volume, you can click on Evaluate and then Mass Properties. And here you can see the volume. The volume that we found in this question is 370,327 cubic millimeters. Of course, this number is not exactly the same as the number that we have in the question. As a matter of fact, the difference here is 5 cubic millimeters. So let me clarify something here. In the exam, if you find this answer, and if your final answer is just 5 cubic millimeters different from the actual answer, you can definitely find the correct answer in the exam. Don't worry about it. It's not something that you should be concerned about. As a matter of fact, let's calculate the percentage of error that we have here. Here, the difference that we have between the correct answer and the answer that we found is just 5.38 cubic millimeters. If I divide this by the correct answer, which is 370,322 cubic millimeters, and multiply that by 100 to change it to percent, you can see that the percentage of the error is 0.001%. This is absolutely nothing. You shouldn't be worried about this difference at all, and it's well within the percentage of the error that we want. However, I'm really curious why this is happening. As a person who is working on this question, I want to make sure that I didn't make a mistake. So I did my research and I found exactly same question but with a different style on the internet. So let me share that question with you. So here is the question. This is exactly same as the question that we solved, it's just in a parametric form. And if you look at the first section, you can see that the numbers that we have in our question is same as the numbers in first section. Now, looking at the diameter of the hole, you can see that the diameter of the hole is parameter B times 2 divided by 3. Now, parameter B is 11. So let's calculate this number. 11 times 2 divided by 3 is 7.333. Basically, the number that we have in our question is a rounded number. We only have 2 decimal, but here you can see the actual number in a parametric form has more than 2 decimal, right? So this could be simply the root cause of this issue. And I just wanted to highlight this. So now let's go back to SolidWorks and change the hole size and see if we can find the correct answer. In SolidWorks, in order to make a change to the size of the hole, you can click on Bus Extrude 1, and from this you can choose Edit a Sketch. And here, instead of 7.33, I'm gonna have 7.333. I add one more digit. Click on OK. And now the geometry is updated, okay? Now, with the updated dimension, let's click on Mass Properties to check the volume. You can see that the new volume is 370,318 cubic millimeters. Now, the difference in the first step was 5 cubic millimeters, now it's 4. It's not still ideal, even though I added one digit. Now I want to show you a trick here. It's not super important, it's just a small detail, but I want to show it to you. So when you are in this window, you can simply click on Option. And here you see a setting, Accuracy Level. SolidWorks has a special method to find a volume. And depending on the accuracy level, the volume can change. Now you can see that here it's set to lower. Let's change this one to the higher. So we ask SolidWorks to calculate the volume with a higher accuracy. Click on OK, and now you can see this number is updated. The updated number is 370,321 cubic millimeters. Now you can see the difference between our answer and the final answer in the booklet is just 1 cubic millimeters. This is more than enough. I mean, as a matter of fact, you don't even need to go through all these details. I just want to show you why just a simple digit can have impact on the final answer. And I just wanted to share this with you. So in summary, the answer that we found in the very beginning, which was 5 cubic millimeters off comparing to the final answer, was absolutely okay. Here, I just want to share more details with you and make sure that you understand the root cause some of these discrepancies that we see in the problem set. Okay, that's it. That's a wrap for this video. Thanks for watching. My name is Ruswe. Hope to see you again soon in the next videos.